You've probably seen a number of text messages recently about the upcoming mayoral runoff in Colorado Springs.
People have been getting them for months now, but how are they getting your information and why are you being targeted? Here's KRDO News Channel 13 Spencer Soisher with a special report you'll only see here, targeted through texts.
Daniel Cole is trying to get your attention.
I'm a big believer in them.
And he may be blowing up your phone more than a desperate ex-boyfriend.
As long as the text message that we're sending doesn't look spammy, I think people click through to see what it says.
Cole runs Cole Communications. They head political committees. Donors dump money into his committees to help get someone elected. In the last Colorado Springs municipal election, he worked to elect a handful of city council hopefuls and helped mayoral candidate Wayne Williams. He's sent about 10 messages to Springs voters thus far, urging them to vote for the candidate he's backing or not vote for an opponent. Messages like this one from Mayor John Suthers, Cole says he sent it. Same with this one. This is Richard Scorman. I'm proud to support Michelle Tallarico for City Council District 3, which I used to represent. Is Richard Scorman actually writing this?
Yes.
Cole views himself as a publisher. He works with public figures directly to craft a message that they want to send.
We agree on how the text should read, and then I distribute it on my medium.
He uses other mediums too. He'll send mailers or do TV ads, even make phone calls. But the texts work differently. They cost him somewhere between 6 and 12 cents per text, far cheaper than a printed mailer, and he knows exactly who's going to see it. Unlike TV.
So television, for instance, traditional broadcast, you can't target. If you want to go up on broadcast, you're paying to go on every single screen.
Could be at a bar, could be at some grandma's
Yeah,
house.
right, exactly.
But why is he targeting you, and how did he get your information? Companies sell your data. When you sign up for a membership at a local grocery store, for example, you get money off on groceries, but then the company can track what you buy. They also have your phone number and address. Then they sell that information to someone who wants it.
They're going to look, these databases, at whether you spend more money on bacon or tofu and extrapolate from that.
Cole uses a program called i360. There are multiple databases out there in both the Democrat and Republican circles, buying up your information from places like a Facebook or Walmart or a King Soopers.
They extrapolate things from the data that they get to determine whether people are more conservative or liberal.
Then i360 takes that information from everywhere it's bought data and develops two scores. An affinity score, how likely you are to vote Democrat or Republican, and a propensity score, how likely you are to vote at all.
If we think that Spencer drives a Ford rather than a Subaru, that's going to suggest that he's more conservative. But if he subscribes to Mother Jones rather than the NRA magazine, that suggests more liberal.
Companies like Kohl's use that data along with voter records from the county clerk's office.
If anybody goes to the clerk and says, I want a voter file for the entire city of Colorado Springs or El Paso County, they'll give me a spreadsheet that includes every voter with their address.
He pairs that information with the data from i360, helping him specifically target certain voters, maybe even trying to influence a swing voter.
There are campaigns, even this last cycle here in the Springs, who are sending mailers with Democratic endorsements to Republican households, right?
Works in the inverse way, probably.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Ultimately, the texts are cost efficient and allow for faster and better voter targeting. Cole is a fan and says his research shows it's effective. Political texts may be the future of campaigning, and they don't appear to be going anywhere.
If I had to choose between never doing another text and never doing television again, that would be a tough call.
If you're wondering if you can opt out of these texts, you can. They are legally required to include a disclaimer and an unsubscribe option that you can reply with. Cole admits he's okay with that. He wants to reach voters who want his information anyways. And as far as the length of this, or the legality of this rather, he says they're legal because they aren't being mass sent. Each time that they send a text, someone is individually hitting a send button, in some cases literally 10,000 times. Reporting live in studio, I'm Spencer Soisher for KRDO News Channel 13.
Wow.